Well, as you can see, I am no longer in a car. I am actually back in Austin, and a friend of mine graciously let me come and crash at his apartment because sleeping in 100-degree weather is certainly not ideal when you're in a car. So very generous of him, very appreciative for air conditioning and places to stand up. It kind of resets your standards for sure. But today's video doesn't need a car. It's actually going to be inspired by one of my favorite books all time, and that is Atomic Habits by James Clear. So this book is probably top 1 or 2 nonfiction reads of my entire reading experience, and it is just jam-packed with stuff that you can apply to habit formation and overall just kind of a life philosophy of compounding interest. So starting small can build over time to be something really big. In this book, there's one thing in particular that I wanted to test and is very relevant to what I'm doing right now, and that is the 100 calls a day challenge. The example from Mr. Clear's book is a salesman, young salesman, comes in every day. He's got one jar that is full of 100 paper clips, and he's got one jar that is totally empty. And every day, picks up the phone. Every time he picks up the phone, makes a call, moves one paper clip to the empty jar. Tomorrow, I'm going to be tracking with a little Excel spreadsheet the quote-unquote wins, quote-unquote losses. So voicemail would be kind of a null point, but everything else I consider a win. So if I get a hold of somebody, that's a wrap, talking to somebody. Regardless of how many phone calls I have made to date, my first call on a day is typically a little rusty. But the reality of it is that cold calling is not always the thing that I want to do most, but is the thing that generates leads and generates new business opportunities. So tomorrow should be interesting. I'm excited to show you guys, and I'm excited to document the wins, losses in that spreadsheet, and hopefully give you guys some information that you can apply towards whatever you're doing. Without further ado, it is the night before right now. I have some last minute preparations as far as getting numbers ready, and so I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Oh man. Backflip. Alright, well, good morning. Starting the day off with a light little workout. Nothing too intense, but probably like 90% effort on a 70 to 100 yard strider. Get the body sweating, but treating this as a low intensity, kind of low nervous system load day. And yeah, it'll be good.
Someone's gotta change.
Nice having Zilker Park here in Austin, so nearby. But yeah, now that we've gotten some sweat and gotten our body warmed up, let's go eat some breakfast, make some coffee, and get to making some phone calls. So today's the day. I spent 4 to 5 hours last night finishing up, getting all these numbers and places that I'm going to call to figure out a few different aspects of kind of projects that we have or just straight up selling. So today's the day that we make 100 calls. I went ahead And I've got my jars. I've got 100 little wood beads in here. Obviously, nothing in there. Every time I make a call, James Clear style, moving one bead to the other jar. I've got my spreadsheet open right here. And like I said yesterday, the biggest thing that I'm looking for is reps. Let's get to it. So you guys are gonna get a feel for the very first call of the day. And sometimes, for me, I'm sure it's like this for other people out there, but that first call kind of has to get myself amped up. So, here we go. Hi Steve, this is Alex Melvin with some of the pilot programs you guys have and what your capacity is in the Ingredients Institute. Thank you. Bye. It's been what I would call a success so far. I am a little bit over 30 calls, and I've gotten a hold of the 3 people-ish that I've been trying to get a hold of for the last like 2.5 weeks, and now have a couple more meetings booked. So let's keep going. Have a lot more calls to make. About to make the 100th call right now at 6 p.m. and we're calling a JUCO in California, so 2 hours behind before closing time. Last 4 digits are my birthday. It's gotta be a good sign. Hi Coach, my name is Alex. I'm calling on behalf of D1 Lab. It was the research I did in grad school while playing football for University of Minnesota. And you can see some of those testimonials at d1lab.com. As an added bonus, we give back a portion of every sale to veterans of special operations. And everything that we produce is third-party tested by Informed Sport. That is a lot of calls today, dude. Holy smokes. So 100 phone calls. 1, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got through to 13 people, so 13% of phone calls. But some people that I didn't get through to actually reached back out over text message or, other means of communication. So we're gonna tally this up soon. All right, now we are back on Friday. I made all of those calls on Tuesday. So now I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of the scope of success / losses, whatever you want to call them, and how the rest of those calls panned out. So, as I mentioned previously, 13 of those calls I got through right off the bat. One of them was the head of his department and got me a meeting with the best possible decision maker in the entire United States. It's a win. One of them was a leading researcher in the field, spent 15 to 20 minutes on the phone with me right then and there, got a lot of answers. It's another big time win if we're counting those. 4 of them were head coaches and assistant coaches responsible for making decisions. So big thing. It's just decision makers or people who are knowledgeable about it. Those are awesome. I got 3 callbacks, one of which is another leading resource and has already been amazing 3 days later. I wonder, what's the success rate of a lot of emails? Maybe it's 10x the amount of calls that I made. So off of 1,000 emails, what's the number of responses that I get, meetings, that kind of thing. So those will be tested as well down the road. But all in all, 100 calls, got a fair amount of responses. I call this a successful test.